Welcome to Stoke-on-Trent Model Show, based at the Staffordshire County Showground. It's in that building at the back there that you can just see, the Presswood Centre. It's a really nice venue and it's been here for a couple of years now. It's a really good show in sort of the middle of England. Now, unlike usual, as I am unfortunately a bit unwell, I won't be doing the commentary over every single stand. I will still do some commentary, but it just won't be as prevalent as it is on other show reports. As I say, I was a bit unwell, and for anyone who met me at the show, if I was a bit quieter than usual, that's also why. So I hope you all enjoy, because this was a fabulous show. And of course, first up is Stoke-on-Trent Model Club, who have a lovely sort of U-shaped table. They have their table with all their models and displays on one side, Rubicon models at sort of the middle of it, and the other side they have their club sales and also a raffle as well. I always say that Stoke-on-Trent have a wonderfully varied display. They were one of the first clubs that I noticed doing a lot of dioramas, and they've done them in a lot of unusual ways, featuring, well, things like this underwater wrestling tank, and also things like the UFO there. I love the motion of the sea and these lifeboat scenes. They are absolutely gorgeous and dramatic. But then on the other end we get things like this, a smaller display in a little tray. And again, looking here from another area, we have things like this, everyday scenes, looking at, well, bunkers that are later on, after they're no longer a threat. Dioramas really help bring models to life, I think, and just bring a lot of personality and context and character. Also, trains, we don't see enough of them at model shows, so it was great to see this as well. Rubicon models were then at the end of the table. I say, imagine like a U-shape, this was sort of the bottom of the U. And this is mostly made up of dioramas, and I love this table. There's one model that I am going to feature in a picture that I featured many times before because, well, it's just iconic. So it's that, the Toblerone tank made by Guy. The Swiss Army tank. I absolutely adore this, I think it's wonderful. Then I've just tried to choose a lot of different scenes that may be a bit more unusual or just I thought looked really nice. The 21st Line Regiment were here as well, showing what historical reenactment is all about, and that was really nice to see too, something a bit different. Then our first club other than the host was Derby Model Club. I don't know if I've actually seen Derby Model Club at shows other than Stoke before. I don't know if I've even seen them here before. I love the Spanish Typhoon as well, that was really unusual, but of course this BF110 really took the show on their stand. Absolutely incredible diorama. And how can we not want the Firebomber? They're just so incredible. Then you got to respect a Gannet with folded wings. They look amazing. We then head over to Nottingham in District. This is one that we saw, I think, last at Leeds model show. The ginormous Lancaster in the middle. Did try and again to make sure I took pictures of different things over the course of their stand. I'll be honest, I didn't take a picture of this because it reminded me of when my dad gave me one of the preformed Airfix ones when I was a kid. And Mr. Modeler loved this Catalina. Gorgeous example of the type. The table I feature every time I can is the Spanish Civil War. Now, the middle diorama, split into four, is a new diorama they're working on, and this is one that can be split, so each of them can be displayed independently, or they can just be displayed together, which is a really cool idea. I tried to take pictures of sort of the different scenes that are around there. This is a work in progress, but I already think it looks rather amazing. Can't wait to see it finished. Next door associated is Wolverhampton. They have a massive Space Wolf army on the table. And then a lot of lovely dioramas and figures with planes at the far end, including the coolest German Eurofighter. It's rare that you see Chinese aircraft at all, so seeing a Chinese Zero I thought was really amazing. And something a bit different was this sort of respectful pressing. Again, at SIG, I am not as well versed on the F1 and motorsports SIG, so taking a few pictures of just cars I thought were interesting, one Mr. Modeler also thought were interesting, so check it out. We then have North Riding, which I love the DO325, we will get a picture of that. The SL71 again is just iconic. Whenever you see one of them like painted well, just not black, is great. And the recreation of the Hurricane at the end, so let's have a look in more detail. The first of a couple of stands though, unfortunately, were not labelled, and I wasn't really feeling that well, so unless someone told me, I just sort of went with them. So if you know who this is, and any of the other unlabelled ones we see during the course of today's video, let me know in the description and I'll try and update the tags at a later date. Crewe District went heavy with sci-fi, which is completely fine with me. From Star Wars to Dune, I love seeing it, so that was really nice. I tried to take a picture again, just covering various topics they had on display, but really, you need to see these sort of stands for yourself because there's just so much to cover. I can't possibly reflect it all in the video. Sutton Coldfield are up next, and I really like the Werner boat at the front. That's like a boat that I think gets launched up another boat as like a rescue. I really love that idea. I love seeing all the ships starting to come in a bit more prominently, especially since Airfix have redone, well, I say redone, released their new Shannon starter set, really lovely. So yeah, a really great display. I love the tram, of course. I mean, I love trams, so I'll have a look at a couple of their models in more detail. over to Keighley, another club we've seen many times. Love the collection of Italian aircraft at the back. There's a Brazilian SM-79. I don't think I got the best picture of it, so I do apologise, but I definitely did. Tried to make sure that there's enough time for you to see everything there, including the Iranian, definitely not F5, reverse engineered aircraft. I can never remember what it's called. I know the English name for it is Thunderbolt, but I don't know how to say the classy name, unfortunately. And also, yes, modelling isn't just aircraft like this. It was the cutesy stuff that you just seen before too. Nottinghamshire scale modellers are up next. I love the theming of the table, that everything sort of ties together really nicely with the tablecloth chaser. That was really cool. Just a really well put together display. Again, we have some Warhammer featuring quite prominently because they stand out with their bold colours, which I also think is nice. We then move over to Shropshire. The G4 Super Galad, made by Socko, I'm assuming it's the Umo model kit, is right at the front, and of course I love that as a Flying Stars display team, so that was one I wanted to pictures of. But also unusual markings such as the Turkish FW190, and I love the RA5C Vigilante sitting on the box that it came in. I thought that was really nice. A really lovely display of unusual types. The Night Fighter SIG is an opportunity to see aircraft that you know and love in alternative schemes, and some aircraft that you may not know as well. Really have seen this SIG grow from a lot fewer aircraft on a table to now a very complete display. Sheffield are up next, and it's the aircraft right at the end that you want to pay attention to the most, which is being dragged by an elephant, which I think is one of the most creative and amazing dioramas I've probably ever seen. The ironically named Club with No Name is up next, and you can already see some hilarious models, including the Thomas the Tank engine, which I just love. Everything is so wonderfully based and well presented here, finished to really high standards. I also love the Bristol Brabazon at the end, which is just iconic. So yeah, wonderful display. Rutland is up next with their crushed green velvet table, the P50R with unusual camouflage, and Stingray featuring in the middle of their logo. Stingray was not one of the TV shows I watched growing up. I watched a lot of Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet though, so I only saw a few episodes, but I'm glad to see Stingray getting some love. I also will say on the HMS Daring I had no idea helicopters were loaded like this, so this is a really beautiful example of why I love modelling, is being able to see just how things work in the real world. Moving over to Mowbray Modeller, and we have some unusual dioramas and then some types that are from sort of World War I into war that you perhaps don't see as regularly, which is also really nice to see. Wrexham wings have become known, or at least to me, for their sort of photo frame dioramas, and they were very happy to again talk about the history of these. I really do recommend, if you are at any model shows, go check out Wrexham wing, and they can tell you all about each of the displays they have there. It's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us, and I know you quite often watch these, so feel free to give a proper explanation in the comments below, because I was not feeling my best on the day and didn't write it down. But yeah, absolutely stunning as usual. Well done. We then head over to British Experimental Aircraft, and one of my favourite aircraft of all time, the Short Sparrow, is right there. This is a resin kit I've considered buying this kit when I saw it once available, and I didn't, and I regret it because I really wanted to build a Short Sparrow. But yeah, they did such a great job. Look at that, it's so gorgeous, so pretty. I love it so much. The Leopard SIG is up next. This is just Leopards in lots of different services from around the world. I never really knew how widespread the Leopard was until I saw the stand for the first time many years ago. Having just seen them at Blue Lamp, we have Universal Model Club. They were one of the ones that weren't named, unfortunately, at the Blue Lamp show, but it was good to see them here. I didn't take as many pictures of them because I had just featured them in the Blue Lamp video, so if you want to see them in a bit more detail, feel free to go check out the Blue Lamp Model Show review I did. You then head over to Warrington. You have a MiG-29 and F-18 sat in the middle together, showing as like counterparts, which I thought was kind of cool, with an F-16 there as well. They also had some other really unique examples, such as the MiG-29 of the Slovakian Air Force in its target display team. I don't really see MiG-29s in sort of Western service anymore, or, well, I guess like NATO-aligned service anymore, so it's really lovely to see these sort of aircraft and how we would probably last saw them. Womborne up next, and this is quite tank heavy, but that's great because although I might not know a lot about tanks are obviously such a popular subject. It's lovely to see them. I'm just not as well versed, so I can't talk as much about them, but yeah, really lovely. And obviously they were all there on hand if you did want to ask questions. I just, again, wasn't myself on the day, so didn't, but I tried to take some pictures of unusual subjects for you guys to have a look at. Tornado SIG is up next. Of course, this is just different tornadoes from different air operators, which could have been, you know, Saudi Arabia, the Royal Air Force, Luftwaffe, or Aeronautica Militare. This was a stand where there was no one actually there, but genuinely amazing work on the stormtroopers, and it was a lot of really well presented work. So not sure whose this was, but really good works, really lovely to see. And if you know who it was, or if it was you, let us know in the description below and I'll update the timestamps accordingly. Heading over to Chester. Again, some beautiful dioramas on display. Glad to see dioramas becoming ever more common. And then we do have a couple of really unique examples, such as the G6 Eland, which you can see just in the middle there with the sort of almost alien movie style base of the model. And I'm really sorry I didn't record properly. I think I must have clicked record when it was already recording. I'm really sorry, but I did get some nice pictures of your work for the truck SIG. Again, I really apologise. One of the loveliest stands at any model show is always Stafford. They're always so happy to come up and talk to you and joke and just bring so much life to the hobby. So I always love seeing Stafford's displays. They always have so much to offer, so much variance, and really for them, no model is ever off limits. So really love seeing your work, and I can't wait to see your Telford display as well. Unfortunately, one of their members had passed away, Paul Burlington, and they did a lovely tribute to them on their table as well. Staffordshire Moorlands up next, obviously a club that's very close to the Stoke-on-Trent Model Show. Again, they always have such wonderful displays, lots of different types, and I love the DC3 in the old RAF style and this French artillery training. This was so unique. Cleveland had this insane blitzkrieg in 1946 style, which, as someone who grew up playing games like IL-2 1946, I adore this, and it also makes me want to go replay Iron Harvest as well. Like, this was a lovely display, and I love seeing like these old history things. They're just so cool. Staffordshire win points for having one of my favourite helicopters on display, the Lynx. They had 2 of these on display, and that was then surrounded by a bunch of beautiful dioramas or just well presented models as well. So yeah, let's go check them out. Heading over to Merseyside, and there's a Camp 1007 over there, which one of the most successful Italian bombers of all. I say successful because Italian bombers were famously not very successful, so always love seeing one of those types shown. Love the trainer sort of diorama in the middle there as well. Really lovely display, and seeing a Hampton in Swedish colours is always a treat. Coventry and Warwickshire really have a lot of unique types on display. Of course, we've seen these at a variety of shows before, but I do love their dual Minesweeper aircraft at the top, and one of the most unusual dioramas, which is that Rhino that we'll see in a moment. Also the Dolphin. I don't know if that's Echo the Dolphin or if it's Dolphin from like Red Alert, but either way, it really makes me smile. SIG 144 are up next, and I would say they are friends of the channel. I always feature them because they just do such incredible work at a micro scale. I could never do it. I do have one to do at some point, but it's sort of sadly quite late on the list right now, but I will do it one day, I promise. They always do little themes, so like they've got the BF109 themes, they've done experimental themes before, so I'm just going to let you have a look at their wonderful work, because whether it's just static houses with sort of very natural public scenes or aircraft, they always do an immaculate job. Unfortunately, another unlabeled stand here, but I really love the diorama with, I want to say it's a Beaufort at the back. Don't think it's Beaufort, I think it's a Beaufort, not sure. But either way, it looks amazing. So let us know who you are in the comments down below. We then head over to the Wirral. Now, the Wirral were one of the stands that was showing off one of Airfix's hot releases of the year, the brand new Chinook. I really love this. I did an unboxing of it on my channel, and a couple of people at the show asked when I'm going to build it. The answer is as soon as I feel a lot better. I do hope to build it soon. It's quite a chunky model, so I need to find a space to put it to. And I'm still figuring out where I'm going to put my models in my new space, but yeah. It was a really well presented type, and this Tiger F16 is absolutely gorgeous. We then have the Spartans, or Sutton Spartans, and the boats they have in the middle. I will say, I don't know how people do rigging that well. I've only ever done rigging on like one plane using guitar wire. Go check out my video on that if you haven't, because really cool hack, but that just looks absolutely stunning. Monster Mayhem up next, a variety of sci-fi, cartoon and fantasy, I guess. Really lovely display. Seeing the Jetsons in the middle always cracks me up, and The War of the Worlds, that original film, as someone who grew up reading the book and listening to the musical, that film, it's a lot, but it always just brings a smile to my face to see sort of representations of it, even though I hate the film with a passion. Northants up next, and this is a lot of, I don't know how we call them, like figures, dioramas, but yeah, a lot of really amazing work. I can never paint like faces to this stuff, but I've only ever tried to do one figure and it turned out horribly, so I have so much respect for you. We then hand over to the Airfix SIG. There's anything and everything from Airfix. Airfix has done so much over the years, and obviously we're starting to get a lot of it back through vintage classics, but a lot of stuff like trains, for example, and I guess some of the cars as well, we haven't seen for a very long time, and it's kind of insane to think how much they used to do. Of course, things like the dinosaurs, which I'm sure my fellow content creator Fenris will love. We really wish they had those things back, and the birds, because of course I built the owl once, and the plastic they were made out of at the day, gosh, it was awful. The Danish SIG had a theme of built in Britain, used by Denmark, as you can see the sign there. The Hunter, with its weathering there, and like the knee counterpart, was amazing. And I always love seeing the links in different colour schemes, or just any colour schemes. I love the links with the passion. It's such a beautiful, beautiful helicopter. Models for Heroes were also at the show today, representing the charity. Amazing work they do, so go check them out at their website. On their stand, they said that it was a lot of stuff that they'd found that was sort of unfinished, so they're looking to finish a load of models. I really love this AW29, really lovely aircraft. Heading over to Leicester, and I'm really sorry that when I spoke to you, I probably seemed a bit like quiet, but again, like I just wasn't feeling well that day. I mean, I've been unwell for quite a while, but hopefully I'll be back in shape for the next show I see you at and we can have a proper chat. But amazing display with your new sort of models, border models that you were so happy to show us, and I've taken some close-ups, so thank you so much. We then head over to Lancashire, and I spoke to, I think it was Tammy, if I've got your name right. If I haven't, I really apologise, correct me in the comments. But you were talking about how you've done sort of the models in the middle. You can just see the coming here. There's sort of a lot of purple and blues there, sort of the Tyranids and the dragon at the back, and how you want to try and bring more women into modelling. And you know, you really need that in the hobby, and I'm so with you. So I love that you brought some colour there, and I've taken some pictures of your models, so thank you so much for taking time to speak to me. I know you're apologising for taking my time, but I was just not feeling myself that day, or I haven't for a while, so yeah, I hope you enjoy. Northern England airfields, I actually ran into one of the members at Riyadh as well, so really lovely to see them again. Always love this stand, just well presented, a lot of information, and everything is just, it has a purpose. Unfortunately, using my new camera, I managed to take not the best pictures, but I still hope you enjoyed that. I at least tried to get some nice ones. As we head towards the end of our journey together around Stoke-on-Trent Model Show, we have Fenland and Spalding, with some unusual types such as the KA-15 and the Buccaneer in the naval or the old naval scheme. We also have some egg planes which we've seen throughout the show today as well. Really lovely display. Five 18 modelers are up next, and to be honest, things that really drew my eye were the Austrian Draken and the Ethiopian Sabre, so we'll have a look at them in a bit more detail. Heading over to Bolton, you'll notice they have a lot of trainer aircraft. I think they're associated with the trainer aircraft SIG, as you will have seen at their own show, which I visited at the start of the year. So a lot of lovely things to take pictures of. Love the red arrows representation on here as well. Just an all-round lovely stand. Initially we thought the stand might be part of British Bulldogs, who were the last stand we looked at, but in hindsight they probably weren't, so let us know down below who you were. Again, apologies I didn't ask on the day, wasn't feeling 100%. And that does lead us on to our last stand of the day, British Bulldogs. They have a lot of heavy armour, which again is not my forte, but I've just tried to take some pictures for you to enjoy. And there we have it. That brings us to the end of Stoke-on-Trent Model Show 2024. I visited the show a few years ago and I remain unchanged in my opinion. It is one of the best shows of the year. It's just so varied. It has a lovely venue. If it's Sutton, which luckily both times I've been, it has been. There's like good facilities. There's a lot of room for people who are less mobile. Not necessarily in between sort of tables themselves, but around the venue it seems really accessible, at least from my experience. I did pick up a couple of things at the show, which hopefully you'll see in a post in a couple of days' time. But yeah, again, I do really just want to apologise for anyone if you thought I came across a bit rude or just not engaging. I have been unwell for a good couple of weeks now, as I said a few times in this video. I'm hopefully getting through it, but it's really taken its toll on me, both mentally and physically. So hopefully by the time of like Telford or something, I'll be back to my normal self, because I don't think I'm going to sort of shows before then. But I do want to say I really appreciate everyone who does say hi, and anyone who comes and talks to me. I really just mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my channel members. As usual, a shout out goes to the advanced kit level members, including Bob and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Taggers365, Jeff's Dioramas, I Am Duke, and my two longest subscribers, Explosive Water and Crazy Loja. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and, well, there's a recommended video here just for you. So why don't we go and have a look together? Wherever you are, have a lovely day. Bye!